I'm just saying, Joe, the De'Aaron Fox era has begun, and
Ron.
the NBA Power Rankings released today. It's just funny, Joe. It's just funny because
Let's see who we
even
have,
even
right?
even, even Spurs fans are finding a reason to complain, and I don't get it. I don't get it. Spurs are 7-2. If we had said, Joe, before the season started that they would start the season 7-2 after 9 games, we would all have taken it, right?
That's a win.
That's a win, and it doesn't matter how it got there. It's a win. Why is it that there are some Spurs fans out there who are like, well, we got to take a wait and see mentality?
You know why?
Play. Why?
Mira Wemby.
Well, dude, it's beyond Wemby. Isn't that a good thing, Joe? Isn't it a good thing to win
Mira
games
Wemby.
when Wemby's not performing at an elite level? Although 18-18, Joe, was kind of nice.
Yeah, but he's just gotten off to slow starts. I think they just want to see him get off to a better start. It's like he waits until the second half to really start coming on. I mean, if he could get off to a hot start, I think it'd make things easier for the team. But I mean,
Mitch
he's got to
Johnson
learn to adjust.
Mitch Johnson needs to do something about the flopping, dude. Alperen Şengün, that guy
was
from
ridiculous.
the Suns. They're all just flopping when it comes to it. They need to call that out, Joe.
You know
And
what?
the NBA needs to call it out too.
Well, they give him fouls for doing stuff like that. Well, they should. The ref should. But
Yeah.
the thing too that's going on with Wemby and getting off to slow starts, and he just been found out, man. What they're doing is take away the height. They're taking away the floor spacing from him. They're taking away the passing lanes. They're kind of playing bully ball with him a little bit.
Well, they're
And
setting out. They had Reed Shepard on him the other day. It's 6'4". It's
I mean,
weird.
You can guard him with smaller players.
We're rising together on a chilly Monday morning. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. This is the Area 210 podcast powered by PF Chang's La Cantera. Joe, it's a little chilly outside, but what warmed our hearts over the weekend was the fact that the Spurs got back-to-back victories. They beat the Rockets Friday night, came back the following night, beat the Pelicans. Spurs now 7-2 on the season. We're going to get into the De'Aaron Fox era beginning. What a weekend it was for Spurs fans. We saw the De'Aaron Fox era begin for the Spurs. I know he played last season, but then got hurt. But for this season, the era has just begun. We'll talk about that. And Joe, we heard this over the weekend. You and I going back and forth on a text thread, right? People are saying, well, who have the Spurs beaten? And it got me thinking about that question. Who have the Spurs beaten? Because here's the thing, Joe. In my eyes, there are only two teams that are tier one that are considered elite.
Oh, go. Here we go.
There's only two teams, Joe. And I look at the NBA Power Rankings, which the NBA.com just released 30 minutes ago. We're going to go over them. Teams 3 through 10, Joe, identical. They're all identical as far as strength is concerned. But isn't that weird, Joe, that we're now saying the Spurs, or at least I'm saying it, might actually be a top 10 team in the NBA when it comes to strength? We'll get into that. Dude, what happened to the Buffalo Bills, Joe? They lost to the Miami Dolphins. What happened to the Steelers? Guess who's one game behind the Steelers now, Joe? At 4-5. The Baltimore Ravens. We'll have to get into the NFL.
What do you say, that Rocky song? Getting stronger. You know whose season's all but done?
Yeah.
Cowboys.
Yeah, that Bears come from behind victory over the Giants yesterday. Sealed the deal. Dude, there are 8 teams in the NFC that have 6-3 records or greater. It ain't gonna happen. We're saying that the Cowboys could have gotten in if they were 10-6-1. It's more like 11-5-1 at that point. The Cowboys basically need to win out to have a chance, and it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, dude. Yeah.
Joe, I got into a new TV show streaming. I fell behind for many, many years, but I started watching Stranger Things this past weekend.
Oh, God, for the first time. It's not bad, dude.
Okay, no spoilers, but it's funny. I'm getting into it. I'm just finishing season 1, so that's pretty cool. And Joe, I am now a married man.
Yeah, I know. Mike surprised us all on the other day because we posted pictures and everything, and they're like asking me, "Did Mike get married?" I'm like, "I don't know.
Yeah,
It's like I don't know." You got to ask the man.
Yeah, Chica and I, Chica's son is getting married next year. And we didn't want to take the shine off of that. We don't want to have an elaborate wedding. And Chica and I have been married before, so it's not like we need to have the pomp and circumstance of a wedding ceremony or anything like that. So we had talked about, hey, let's just go to the courthouse. Let's just go to the courthouse. And the courthouse, which was maybe about 25, 30 minutes from where we live, out in Lake Conroe, out in the Magnolia area, Willis part of Texas, they had a last minute cancellation. And when we called them to see if there was anything available, they said, yeah, come on by.
Right now.
Well, we knew a couple days in advance, but we had been sick. Both of us had food poisoning. It was the first day that we had felt close to normal. And she was at home, and I looked at her. I was like, we doing this? We have a 3:00 appointment if we want to go. And we got in the truck, got out there. 6-minute ceremony, Joe. In and out, man. In and out. And it was good. So me and Chica tied the knot.
That was a drive-by ceremony. You should have just went to Vegas, bro, and get married over there in the Chapel of Love or something.
Chapel of Love. There you go. Now
With
Chica doesn't like Vegas, man. She loves going to casinos. She loves going to Lake Charles and Tunica and Laughlin and Miami, all that stuff. Vegas, she doesn't do. She thinks it's too immoral of a city, so she doesn't like it.
Trashy.
Yeah, she's just like, why are all these girls dressed all trashy? Why are all these hookers out? And the guys are all Nesiel out there, so she doesn't like it. But Sith coming out on our chat powered by PFJ's La Gatera saying Mike didn't invite me because I told him I'd object. Joe, we were by ourselves in that courthouse. So we got over there, and they said, well, fellas, you didn't confirm with us that this was going to happen. The judge is out right now. He's actually marrying a couple at the jail. I was like,
God.
okay.
What
Then
the hell?
Then it comes on out, and he shows up around 3:30 and says, yeah, come on in. We'll get this done. And it just took 6 minutes in and out, man. He was really nice, said a prayer, and walked out the door, man and wife. We ended up at Trulux, which is a nice restaurant in the Woodlands for dinner.
Yeah.
We did that, and then we came home and watched the Spurs beat up on the Rockets, which was nice.
And then you celebrated afterwards. There you go. I'm surprised you showed up early or on time today. I thought you were gonna be cuddled up with Chica because está frío afuera.
Oh, it is, man, and it's so funny, man. That photo. I don't know if I posted that photo of her at Home Goods the other day on Twitter. I have been married before, and the women I had been married to, Gabby's mom and Ava's mom, they were not into like the whole Christmas festive spirit, right?
Yeah.
Chica doesn't do Thanksgiving because she's like, hey, I'm Native American. Why am I doing Thanksgiving? Right? She goes, you know what you call Thanksgiving in our house? We call it Thursday. So got that Apache blood, right? She's 150 years, 250 years later, she hasn't forgotten, right? So goes, well, what are we celebrating here? Really? What, the pillaging and raping of my people? That's what she says. So the thing about that is that Christmas though, she goes all out apparently.
Yeah.
And I went out and we cleared out Ross and Home Goods with 3 baskets full of Christmas ornaments. And right now, Chica is downstairs with her mom putting it all together. Joe, I've never seen more nutcrackers in my life. I've never seen more nativity scenes in my life.
Bro.
It is a winter wonderland. It's like Elf. You know that scene in the movie Elf where he stays in the store overnight and it come back and it's like a big old Christmas display. Joe, we're putting Mi Tierra to shame right now, Joe. It is a Christmas wonderland downstairs going on right now.
You should see what happened yesterday because it was my son's birthday, my youngest, right? He turned 20. So happy birthday to my boy there. Belated birthday now. It's because it was yesterday. Yeah. But we went to Sam's because he wanted some stuff. We were making him his birthday dinner, and there's some certain things that he likes from Sam's, right? Like the macaroni and some other stuff. So we go out there and get him some things that he wanted for his birthday, right? And as we're going there, I didn't know that they had already started Black Friday deals or what have you.
Oh, really?
So they had like doorbuster sales over there at Sam's. I'm like, what the hell's up with on a Sunday? Like, why is everybody packed in here? And they're all going for the TVs and Nintendo Switches too, and the JBL speakers, Bluetooth speakers, and all this crap. I'm like, man, there was a mad rush, dude. People were running in the store to go and grab these prismatic like decorations. It's like a family of deer, and then there's like a nutcracker and some other stuff. And these things aren't cheap, mind you. Like it's a
No.
set, right? So it's like $500 a pop for each set that you're getting. Man, this one lady had the whole cart full of crap, dude. She had easily like 2 grand worth of shit on there. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going on, man? It's getting out of hand, dude. Like, why
Well,
that much, just to put in the front yard? Like, I,
yeah. Well, I'm not going to go out and do the whole Black Friday thing. I think Black Friday's stupid. Like the whole idea of it is so 1990s, and I get it. Back in the day, you'd wake up on a Friday morning and you'd go out or you'd get out there in the middle of the night, right, and camp out to get the PS2 or whatever the case may be, right?
yeah,
Back in the day, early 2000s. But in the year 2025, the idea of Black Friday when Amazon exists, when every single store has an online website,
you gotta do that
why? You
anymore.
don't have to do that
Yeah.
anymore. But I will say this, Joe. Chica was like, we have to go to Home Goods and clear out everything when it comes to the Christmas stuff, Joe. And I have some pictures on my Twitter account of it all. But it's funny because she's right. If you don't get your Christmas stuff done
Oh, it's gone,
when
dude.
it comes to the ornaments and decorations by mid-November, there
It's
ain't
gone.
nothing there. There's
No.
nothing there.
You know who has a bunch of good Christmas decor? Burlington. They got some nice
Really?
stuff over there, dude. I'm not playing around, dude. Like I went over there and they had like some nice stuff I might go back and get. I remember I bought like a cookie jar from my mom and my aunt, and they were like, one was like a gingerbread house from my aunt, and the other one was like a big old Santa, like it was a Santa with like a Christmas tree or something from my mother. So
Yeah.
they could have that for Christmas time because they like it, and they want to put cookies or whatever in the cookie jar. So I went and got them stuff like that. But they had a whole bunch of it. Like right now, it's probably going to be gone. If you don't get it within the next week or so, it's done. Oh, and we do got an incoming super chat here from Jason Garcia. We'll get to that right now. But I was going to say at Sam's, when I went in, one of the doorbuster deals that they had was like a 75 or an 85-inch LG TV for
Hmm.
like $600, and I'm like, I don't really need a TV, but man, that's not
That's a good
bad.
deal.
But I'm like, do I really need it? No. Do I have TVs that work? Yes. Do I want it? Yeah, but I don't need it. If I have a broken TV or something, or I'm in need, yeah, I'll go ahead and maybe get one. But
Yeah.
I mean, it was a hell of a deal, and then not only that, but like if you go beyond the doorbusters and you go in and like the everyday prices that they had at the Sam's, like you could still get a big old TV like that for like less than $500,
But
going out the door.
Joe, would you ever, at your age now, in the year 2025, camp out for Black Friday day?
No, no, hell no. That's why I have credit cards, bro. Like if you have credit cards like at certain places, you got American Express and shit like that, dude. You get certain perks, right? Even with Best Buy. If you're a cardholder member at Best Buy, you get to go to all the Black Friday stuff before it gets out to the peasants, you know?
Mhm.
And you get to buy shit before anybody else does. So I'm like, I got credit card galore and I got, all this stuff. I mean, I can shop Black Friday at home. I mean, why am I going to go out there and
I
camp
know.
out?
I'd
No, dude.
rather cuddle with Chica over here when it's cold because it
Yeah,
is
you got all the people out there,
how
man.
cold did it get today in San Antonio?
It was like 46 or something like that when I woke up. It wasn't too cold. I mean, without frio, but it wasn't that bad.
It
But I
got
was
down to
gonna say,
39 over here.
yeah, I was gonna say, like at Best Buy though, like you still have people that camp out for the Black Friday and all that, and I'm like, why? Like I get access to that before anybody else gets to do that kind of stuff. There's no need for that anymore.
That's peasant stuff, Joe. Black Friday's peasant stuff.
I'm not fighting people for stuff, dude. Like,
Remember that, Joe? Running into the
no,
store
man,
and just like, just rummaging
pushing
through
people
crap,
down.
pushing people. The bin
Oh
of
man,
DVDs, the video games, the PS2
so
games.
I went and I sold my car, right? I had this old car that I mean, it was been around for a while over the weekend, right? So I went and sold the car, and it just been parked in the front of the driveway because I brought my son a new car, right? I bought him a Nissan Kicks, right?
Yeah,
That's what the bank approved us for, good rates and everything. Because I mean, my credit's all right,
yeah.
Uh, so I got him that, and I had that other car there, been sitting there for a while. And I found this company online and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll come back and pick it up or whatever, write you a check on the spot." Bro, they gave me $2,100 for this old ass car, you
Nice.
know, that didn't even want to start anymore. So I'm like, whatever, dude, just take it out of here. I don't want to look at it no more. So I go and I deposit the money in the bank or whatever, and then I'm like, all right, what am I going to do with this cash? So I was like, you know what? I kind of want a new tree, Christmas tree, right? So I started looking around and said, I'll go to Walmart real quick and see what they got. I'm not going to buy nothing right now. I'm just looking. Man, they already started with the SNAP benefits, people robbing the store and stealing food. Bro, that was already happening, dude, at Walmart. I'm walking out the door and I'm getting in my car, and then the employees are chasing this one dude out in the parking lot, and he's running for his life, dude. And he has like food in his hands, and he's dropping it on the ground. And they're having to go out there and pick up all the stuff that he's dropping. And he runs into his car and just takes off. I'm like, dude, it's already started, Mike, man. Like, people are getting desperate, dude, for the food. If I feel bad, like, what if you really needed it?
I
Like,
feel bad for the
damn,
kid. I
man.
feel bad for the kids, man. I feel bad for the kids. The adults, though, not as much. Not as much. Joe, we're powered by PF Chang's La Cantera. Again, you go visit Sean Quintero over at the La Cantera location. They have Wednesday Wines Day, half off bottles of champagne and wine on Wednesdays. They have those 8 new craft cocktails right now going for $8.99 from open to close. Very, very good stuff. Lychee martinis, talking about Jade Margarita,
My favorite.
Long Island iced tea, lemon drop martini, all of that going on for $8.99 all day, every day. But again, really good spot for a 3 to 6. And if it's fall time, Joe, because you get there from 3 to 6, Joe, go sit outside. It's nice.
It is nice.
We're starting with like those days where you have to wear a hoodie in the morning, but you can go down, take off a layer, and be in a polo for the whole rest of the day. Then put the
Yeah.
hoodie back on. It's good stuff, Joe. You know what was good stuff? The Spurs over the past weekend. It started Friday night. We had this conversation between me, you, and Spernandez. Did the Spurs have a chance against the Rockets? And all three of us were like, it's going to be tough. And it looked bad for a while. The Spurs had an 11-point deficit in the second quarter, came from behind, had this huge run to end the second quarter, and it continued into the third. Spurs go off to a double-digit lead and hold on for the victory against the Rockets. It was a great game for the Spurs to get a good win against a good team. But then again, they go off to beat the Pelicans, which they should have beaten. Closer game than they thought. Vegas had it as a 10.5-point spread. The Spurs, I think, only won by like 7. But people are trying to downplay, Joe. Our good friend Chris Leha trying to downplay. I'm drinking out of the Diamond Hard Yeti, by the way. MCS General Contracting does a fantastic job. But why is he saying I'm capping right now, right? Mike, you don't care about poor people. Well, you know what? I spent 5.5 hours about 3 weeks ago feeding the homeless and creating food for the homeless. By the way, an overnight shift from 11:30 in the morning to 4 or 5 in the morning.
Look at
11:30
Sean
p.m.
playing.
So
Mike would be yelling, "Make more money."
you know what? Some of them need to make more money, man. Get off your ass.
Oh my!
Hey, the kids are the kids, man. The kids are the real victims when it comes to it all. But the adults, get off your ass. Get off your ass. Are you doing what you should be doing? No.
Hey
I
man,
don't
like
care.
look at what's going on with the government furlough, man. Like a lot of these federal workers, they haven't gotten
And
paid.
that's
Hopefully,
sad.
it comes to an end,
And that's
and
sad.
they're unable to provide for their families right now. And it's already almost a whole month, going into
I would
the
assume most
furlough.
people have credit that they could have lived on for a while, and that's
But
sad.
Mike,
You know,
you gotta you
you should.
you got
Talking.
paid.
I'm talking about Snap, by the way. Okay,
Yeah,
people who have their own full-time jobs, like Fernandez, who went 5 weeks without pay, like that. They're a victim of all this. They're the victim. They're not. They didn't do anything to cause all this. Of course, you feel empathy and sympathy. They work full-time jobs. They're out there providing for their families. They're out there doing what's important for
yeah.
society. They're contributing to society. They're paying taxes, Joe. The kids of the SNAP recipients and all that, that's not their fault. They're kids, right? But at some point, personal accountability is a thing, Joe. It is a thing. You have to get off your ass and work. And there are a lot of SNAP recipients who do work and are full-time employees and all that stuff. But there's also a big percentage, Joe, that are not. We cannot deny that, Joe.
Yeah.
We cannot deny the lady who has 9 kids from 5 daddies. Okay, it is what it
Driving
is.
the Nissan Altima.
I know, but
Uh,
If she was smart, she would have gotten a Toyota Corolla. Man, the Corolla's looking good these days, Joe.
nah,
You know,
the Corolla looking good. It get you home, man, but it's kind of showing its mileage a little bit, bro.
the Corolla being Harrison Barnes having a fantastic 5 or 6 game stretch. He's still looking slow,
It gets you home, bro.
but the slow shots are going in. So the De'Aaron Fox era begins, and the reason why I talk about the Rockets because people come out and saying that the Spurs beat the Rockets, a team that the Rockets were favored by 3.5 points that game. The Rockets were up by 11
They
at some
were.
point in the second quarter, and they deployed an interesting strategy against Wemby when it comes to getting a smaller player to pester Wemby because he puts the ball down on the ground, the smaller player can poke the ball out. So Wemby needs to figure out a way to deal with all that, right? Then he had Şengün flopping all over the place. But then these same quote unquote Spurs fans who were like, well, I mean, yeah, that's not a good win. Who have the Rockets beaten? Who have the Spurs beaten? And you hear this crap all the time. And the one thing I will say about this, Joe, is that you look at the standings, you look at the teams there, the NBA power rankings that NBA.com just released about 30 minutes ago. Who are the elite teams in the NBA, Joe? Because I asked you this before the show started, and I said, how many elite teams? If I have how many elite teams I have in the NBA. If I was to ask you, Joe, the number of elite tier 1 teams in the NBA, who do you got?
Thunder.
The champs, reigning champs, right? They got the reigning MVP, and they have the best record in the NBA. But look at the rankings right there, Joe. Pistons at 8-2. They're good young team, right? They were just like the Spurs 2 or 3 years ago. We're in the lottery. Cavaliers at 7-3. The Knicks at 6-3. The Spurs play the Bulls tonight, who are 6-3. Spurs, by the way, favored to go into Chicago to beat a 6-3 team. What does it say about what Vegas thinks about the Spurs?
Yeah, look at who the Spurs beat, right? They beat the Heat, and the Heat are right below the Bulls at 6-4.
Yeah. So look at this. Look at these teams right here, Joe. Any of these Eastern Conference teams you think are quote unquote elite tier 1 team in the NBA? No, right?
No.
Go to the Western Conference standings. Let's see what we got going on over there.
Top
the Thunder
of the list,
Thunder at 10-1, right? I would say that if there is a second elite team in the NBA, it's the Nuggets. That's number 2. Because the Nuggets have Jokic, who's averaging a triple-double. The Nuggets have a player that has won multiple MVPs. They've won an NBA title before. They've gone through the battles. They have the experience. They have the depth. They have new coaching, though. But look at everybody else, Joe. Would it be unfair to say that there are 2 teams that are elite and that there might be 6 to 8 teams that are tier 2? And those teams would include the Rockets, the Lakers, maybe the Cavaliers, the Knicks, the Pistons, and dare I say, Joe, the Spurs at 7-2. That the Spurs might actually be a tier 2 team in the NBA because look at everybody else, Joe. You can't tell me that the Spurs are worse than the T-Wolves or the Warriors or the.
What was the adage that we talked about in the prior season, Mike? Who are the Spurs better than in the West, right?
Right.
And what are you telling me now? Look at the bottom tier of the Western Conference. Spurs better than Pelicans? Yes.
Yes.
Spurs better than Mavericks?
Went into the crib and beat them. And Cooper Flag, Cooper Flag's struggling.
Yeah.
The Kings.
They're better than the Kings.
The Clippers, who are bottoming out and have no draft capital. Better than the Jazz. Better than the Grizzlies. John Morant is playing like absolute hot garbage.
Bro, he don't want to be there, man. He wants
doesn't.
out, dude. He don't want to be there.
Better than the Suns. I know the Spurs lost to the Suns there in Phoenix, but the Spurs had won 5 in a row getting over there.
Yeah.
Then you have the Warriors, and then you have Thiago Splitter leading the Blazers.
Blazers.
The Blazers are a tough team, right? Then you got the T-Wolves and Rockets. The question always was, well, who are the Spurs better than? I now have no doubt in the world, as long as Wemby's upright and playing games, that the Spurs are going to have very least make the play-in, Joe. Like worst case scenario, they're a top 10 team in the Western Conference. But the question is, are they a top 6 team in the conference? Joe, They're winning games. They're winning games that they're supposed to win. And the last game against the Pelicans, though it was ugly, what did we see, Joe? We saw De'Aaron Fox take over the game the last 2 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And people want me to sign some De'Aaron Fox apology form over the weekend, which I found to be funny. But because I look at Dylan Harper, Joe, that's the only difference between Dylan Harper and De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox was not doing anything better or different than what Dylan Harper does, Joe. But what he does better than Harper is the last 2 minutes of the first half, and the last 2 minutes of the second half, last 2 minutes of the game. Dylan Harper likes to close the game out, just like De'Aaron Fox does. But De'Aaron Fox knows how to do it. Dylan Harper has no fear. But De'Aaron Fox is the person I was trying to reference to right there. De'Aaron Fox wants the ball down the stretch. And as much as he says after the game, Joe, that he's there to help out Wemby and
close
be there
games.
for Wemby to close games. No. Come on, man.
You don't believe him, Mike?
I don't believe that he's there to help Wemby close the games. I believe De'Aaron Fox is there to close the game out, Joe. That is his job.
I'm going to play the clip
He's
for you so you
Clutch.
can see it. You can see it for yourself.
Yeah.
And what do you say? You believe everything the players tell you?
I don't believe.
In the fourth quarter, I told Vic
of Hector Ledesma over there with Clutch Points. So just going ahead and giving them some shout out there.
In the fourth quarter, I told Vic, they brought me here to help you be able to close games. Obviously, teams are going to guard him in a special way. So for us, it opens everybody else up. And for me, if I'm able to play one-on-one like that, I like my odds majority of the time.
All right.
Fourth quarter.
Translation. Get out my way. And I'm not mad at it. He's so good at closing games out, dude. Because he's like, yeah, I was called in to help Wemby, right? Close out these games. And then what does he end it with? But if it's one-on-one, I like my odds.
Yeah.
Which means he's shoot first, pass second when it comes to it all. He had a good shooting performance in his first game for the Spurs. He didn't get as many dimes as Dylan Harper does. He doesn't get as many rebounds as Dylan Harper. They're two different types of players. And because of that, maybe they can coexist. De'Aaron Fox in 31 minutes had 24 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. He's a better scorer than Dylan Harper, who's a rookie. But Harper is a better rebounder. Harper is potentially a better passer, facilitator. But De'Aaron Fox is more Tony Parker than Dylan Harper is. Parker was that guy that liked to shoot first.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at it. Meantime, Stephon Castle, Joe, he's the guy getting the dimes right now. Stephon Castle's stats right now are pretty amazing. If he could just stop turning the ball over, he'd be an excellent player. But the last 2 games that we had before our last show, 13 assists against the Houston Rockets, 14 assists against the New Orleans Pelicans. He had 8 against the Lakers. Mira, Joe, he's averaging 7.3 assists per game.
Who, Fox?
Castle.
Oh,
okay. I can't remember the last time a Spurs player averaged 7.3 assists per game. Who was the last person to do that?
Don't know.
Because I'm looking at Tony Parker's stats. Tony Parker was not somebody to average 7.3. I'm sure he did it once or twice. But let me see his stats here. Tony Parker last had 7.3 assists in 2013. Oh, wait, that's incorrect. Let's see here. Assists per game. 2013. Yeah. He averaged 7.6 assists in 2013. It's been 12 years since we've had a guy average that many assists, average 7 plus. Jordan reaches out to us in our chat, powered by PF Chang's La Cantera. Well, where's that last one you had there? It says you had it says Fox gives the team ISO edge and gravity that the other guards don't. Agreed.
Yep. Fox is the difference maker on this team, man, because he can go ahead and help be that scorer, right? The team's second scorer, right? The guy that you can depend on to get you some buckets.
Mm-hmm.
That can't really be said about Wemby this early on in the games because he's getting off to slow starts because of the way that teams are playing him, taking away his floor spacing and whatnot, making it hard for him to score. He can't just go ahead and bulldoze everybody that's in front of him because they're flopping. He's getting in foul trouble early. He's got to figure that out, man. He's a detriment to his own team if you can't get going early on in the game, like
Right.
generational players, they rise to the occasion. He was training Mira Wemby. He was with the Monks in the summer. Mira Wemby. He was with Garnett. He was with Hakeem Olajuwon. And then you see what he's doing the last couple games, getting off to 2 points in the first half. No, man. Fox is going to help this team.
He's still contributing though, man. 18 of
He's
rebounds per game.
contributing. Yeah, he is. But I'm just saying, like, you need a Fox. You need a player like Fox, because when Wemby's getting off to these slow starts, Fox is your dude, man. You give him the ball.
I like that there's not a lot of overlap that a lot of people thought, because Harper plays different than Fox, and Fox plays different than Castle, and Castle plays different than Harper. So they possibly can coexist out there, because Castle's more of a facilitator. Harper is more of a game manager, and Fox is more of a scorer. They have different skill sets. They might be the same height or relatively the same height, but they have different skill sets. You add Devin Vassell to the mix, who has had 13 points or more in all but one game this year. There's a lot of good things going on with the Spurs, and the fact that the Spurs don't have to rely on Wemby to score 35 points per game and they could still win is a big deal, Joe. That's how you know that they're a good team, that they're not dependent on a player like Milwaukee is with Jokic, or
Giannis,
or
yeah,
Denver is with Jokic and Giannis with
Milwaukee.
They're a team. They've come together as a team.
I mean, you have Vassell, you have Harper, you have Castle. When Harper comes back healthy again, you have him to rely on. And the other thing is too, you also have like Sohan, in that second unit there. You have Keldon.
Sohan, oh my God, man. He is frustrating to watch. He had a good first game, but the last couple of games he's had out there, he is so lost on offense, Joe. And I don't understand how somebody who's 4 years into the league does not know how to become part of an offense. He's shown in the past the ability to cut towards the basket, fill the breaks, do the dirty work, mop up the glass, put it back in, all that stuff. We've seen his free throw shooting become a lot better.
He's not doing the one-handed free throw no more, Mike.
No more one-handed free throw. His form, there's a hitch to it, his three-point shot, but it looks a little bit better. But Joe, it is 4-on-5 offensively when Sohan's out there. And I don't care how good of a defense he plays. If you cannot be part of the offense, what are you doing out there? I think that this is the last year we're going to have of Jeremy Sohan, because they're going to have to look at him and go, dude, it's year 4, man. Develop an offensive game. And he has none. It's so bizarre to watch a player who should be teleported back to the 80s so that he could be the Kurt Rambis that he is.
He's just missing the glasses, Mike.
Goggles.
With the tape in the middle. Remember that crap, dude? Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
It's just like literally, like, watch him play on offense. It's so funny. Defensively, man, he glides like a duck in water, man. He's just going with the flow, He's just,
offensively, he's a lady from Seinfeld doing the dance. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, Mike.
How is he like that? What is wrong with him? He's been playing basketball his entire life. How do you not know how to be part of an offense?
Maybe he's just a dude, man.
And what's so funny is that he was actually showing some semblance of offensive capability in the first game he played. But the last 2 games, he looks so disjointed out there. It's so hurtful to watch.
This is his contract year.
He's a free agent at the end of this year.
Maybe there's a reason why the Spurs didn't extend him before the season, Mike.
That's a possibility.
Hey, but let's get to the super chat too, because we haven't given Jason his props, man.
Okay.
Here comes the money.
And Jason says, "Grito for Mike for making it official." He wants to go ahead and play the grito. You get to choose. He didn't say which one, so it's up to you. Do you want the dog grito or the old man?
The old man.
All right, there we go.
Presumir a mis amigos les conté que en el amor
All the single band of Conroe pouring one out because Chica is off the market.
Don't you touch her. Don't you look at her.
Dude, guys hit on her all the time, dude. I can't go to like pay a tab
Oh,
or whatever without like some guy trying to shoot a shot, you know.
get
And,
your
and
hands off her.
well, no, they're not doing that, you know.
Dude, that one guy from the concert you went to, you like, no, what are you doing?
Oh, that's a different story. No, but you know, it's funny because you know,
Oh my God.
she's an attractive lady and attractive woman, and you know, guys will try to roll up. But it's funny because like i- what I don't understand is this: if they see her with somebody and see that she has a wedding ring on, why are they still trying to shoot their shot?
They don't respect you, Mike.
Well, no, they don't have respect for her either, and
No, they don't.
they don't have any respect. I would say this, Joe. If I went out with a group of friends, right? And I saw them trying to hit up on a girl that was obviously with somebody else or
Uh,
obviously on married or whatever, and I saw one of my friends do that, that guy would no longer be my friend. Like seriously, have some standards. And I'm not that I'm worried that anything's going to happen or anything like that, but I just thought about it. Like when you're with your boys,
oh
and if you
man.
have a guy who's like, oh, that girl's married, but I'm going to go roll up anyway, Joe, they deserve to be hit by a truck.
Shooters got to shoot, Mike.
No, no.
No.
Shooters need to have some morals. Because you know why? The ones
No.
that say shooters got to shoot typically have unhappy lives.
Tell them who you are, Mike. Tell them I'm 1-0 in Fiesta fights. You don't want none of this.
Mhm.
You know. Tell them you're Mike Jimenez.
Bobby February say they think Mike's Chica's brother. I like it, Joe. I like it. Hey, Keldon Johnson's look good, Joe.
Yes.
I mean, Keldon is this has been the best season I've ever seen Keldon Johnson with the Spurs.
Best version of him. Yeah.
I know he had that one season where he averaged 22, 23 points per game, but this is the best version of him. And this might be the first time, Joe, that we've seen Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell play with a smile on their face. They've been with this team for quite some time. We've been trying to kick Devin Vassell out the door for the longest time. We've been trying to kick Keldon Johnson out the door, you know, package him with the deal. Go get Durant, go get Giannis, all that stuff. And at the end of the day, Brian Wright, the last 24 months, has done no wrong.
No.
Has done no wrong.
He's coached the team quite well, I got to say, coming out the gate. You know, only 9 games into the season, the team has looked a lot better than they did in the prior season.
Yeah. I mean, you have Mitch Johnson that he hired as the head coach. Mitch, I think that the especially against the Lakers, the Spurs should have beaten the Lakers. The lineups were really bad then, but now you have players coming back off. So now we have Luke Cornett coming back. De'Aaron Fox is back. So what that
Lindy
does,
Waters,
Lindy Waters. I mean, I know he makes the occasional three. I'm still like he gives me heartburn. Like I'm like pass the ball, get away from him. Unless he's wide open in the corner, I don't want to see Lindy Waters doing anything offensively.
You remember when he knocks down those threes? You got to say Waters wet. You know.
Waters wet.
Man.
But it's funny tonight. The Spurs take on the Bulls. I was surprised, Joe, because I went on ESPNBet.com today, and I was going to ask myself the question: how much are the Spurs favored to lose by tonight? Right? Because the Spurs are on the road. It's a young team that's been coming off of multiple lottery years in a row. I know the Spurs are 7-2. They're taking on a 6-3 team in the Bulls, who are hot right now at 6-3. Obviously, the Spurs have to be favored to lose this game, but I'm looking at it, Joe. Spurs are favored by 3.5.
Yep, exactly correct. 3.5.
Vegas has taken notice. Gamblers have taken notice of the Spurs because the Spurs are not only really good 7-2, the Spurs are against the spread are very good this year.
They're gonna cover that, dude.
Spurs might go 8-2 to start the year, Joe.
That might not be a bad thing. So look at Elias. So Hen is a dingleberry.
And what's funny is he'll get stats because he gets like these put back dunks or these put back whatever, and they'll say, "Oh, he's 4 for 5 or 5 for 6." And you look at it and go, "Oh, well, his shooting percentage is really good." he gets the cleanup stuff, so, which is great. But
Yeah.
an offensive set, he looks like he doesn't know where he's at. It's just weird. NBA.com just released its power rankings. It's the latest edition of the power rankings this morning. Number 1, they have remaining at number 1, the Oklahoma City Thunder, 10-1 record. The number 2 team they have, which was also number 2 last week, another 7-2 team, the Denver Nuggets. At number 3, get this, they have moving up one spot, the Houston Rockets with a 6-3 record, a Houston Rockets team that lost to the Spurs on Friday night. Number 4 with a 6-3 record, the New York Knicks are ranked at number 4 on NBA.com's power rankings, followed by the 7-3 Cleveland Cavaliers at 5. At number 6, the Lakers with a 7-3 record. And the Spurs come in at number 7 in NBA.com's latest power rankings with a 7-2 record. Spurs right now, offensive rating is 6th in the league. Defensive rating is 4th. The net rating is a combined 5th in the NBA. Running out the top 10, you have the Detroit Pistons at number 8, Milwaukee Bucks at number 9, and the Minnesota Timberwolves at number 10. So NBA.com has the Spurs rising through their power rankings. I find that to be interesting, Joe, that the Spurs are getting some mad respect. Maybe we have to change our what's it called? Expectations, Joe?
For what? For them, what? Maybe being a 5th seed or what?
Yeah, maybe being a top 6 team this year.
Nah, man, I think that's gonna wait and see here still. But even though they might look good right now, I mean, like it's an 82 game season. They're gonna go through a stretch of games where they might have a losing streak, and that happens throughout the season. You go through these little stretches. You just got to push through the wall. I actually believe that they're gonna be right around that, hovering around 6, maybe 6. And if they can like I said, if they can win 47, 48 games, gets interesting. Because then at that point in time, they're going to be flirting with that 5 spot. I think the ceiling for them is actually being a bona fide 5th seed.
Yeah.
That's as high as they can go. Because let's face it, I think the other teams in the West might be a little bit better as far as how many games they're going to win, and the Spurs might have a hard time catching them. But ultimately, I think this team is much improved, and the ceiling for them this year is playoffs or bust. They can go as high as 5.
I think they can go as high as 3.
No, we'll see.
I think
It all depends on Wemby. Wemby got to show out too, man.
Well, Wemby needs to stay healthy, but again, we've had all these games without Cornette. Cornette was a really good player when he first started out with the Spurs the first couple of games before he got that sprained ankle. Now Cornette's coming back. How does this change the dynamic? Who loses minutes because of this? Mitch Johnson has to come out with that rotation. Harper is eventually going to come back, and then that takes away minutes again from other people. But if Castle can hold down his turnovers, he's looking good, dude. 27 assists in the last 2 games. Amazing. I'm looking at the AP top 25 list, Joe, kind of going off to a different sport here. And here's the thing, Joe. This is a top 25 that got released by the Associated Press in college football after this past weekend's games.
Hold on. Let me get the graphic ready. Because I'm sharing this one. This is courtesy of CBS Sports, because they do a great job when it comes to this.
I'm getting excited about this, Joe, because there's only a few weeks left, right?
Yeah,
We've got about 4 weeks left.
You want to see the playoff picture as it stands right now? I got the graphic for that too.
Well, let's go to the rankings first.
All right.
At number 1, you have the Ohio State Buckeyes with 55 of the 65 first place votes. Number 2, Fernando Mendoza-led Indiana Hoosiers. They just keep winning, Joe. The 10-0, 6 first place votes. A&M got a big victory over the Missouri Tigers on the road. Ranked number 3, have 4 first place votes. Top 5 is Alabama, Georgia. The team that I'm most scared of, Joe, like that I would not want, if I was an opponent, would not want to play, Ole Miss. Coming in at 9-1. Number 6, Oregon at 7. Look at the Texas Tech Red Raiders at number 8. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame at number 9. And look who's back in the top 10, Joe. Look who's back.
Back again, like Eminem.
The Texas Longhorns and then you see the rest of the top 25, but who cares?
Nobody cares about OU, dude. It's
No,
already
no,
10:47. They still suck, dude.
but I'm bringing this up, Joe, because the playoffs are 12 teams, right? How cool would it be for 3 of those teams to be from the state of Texas?
That'd
The
be
Aggies
amazing.
are basically in.
Yeah.
The Longhorns and Texas Tech. Imagine, Joe, we got Lubbock, Austin, and College Station in the building when it comes to the
Represent.
college playoffs. That would be so cool, man. That
Look
would
at
be so
the
cool.
look at what it has right now. This is courtesy of NBC Sports, by the way. They had updated their new bracket, if the playoffs were to start, where the teams would be at. And here you go. Before they didn't have Texas, the Longhorns in there. They were out.
So with this, you have 4 teams that would get a bye: Ohio
Yeah.
State, Indiana, A&M, and Bama. But in the 5-12 matchup, this is kind of like March Madness, but it's December, January Madness. Georgia hosting USF, the University of Southern Florida, which would come in as the highest ranked non-power 4 conference, right?
Yeah.
The 8-9 matchup is Oregon against Notre Dame. The 6-11 matchup is Georgia Tech against Ole Miss. And can you imagine the 10-7 matchup of Texas versus Texas Tech, going back to the days of the Big 12, going back to the days of the Southwest Conference? I would kill for a 7-10 matchup of Texas and Texas Tech.
I remember one game specifically that I was watching where it was Texas Tech going up against UT, right?
Yeah.
And this is when they had Vince Young. And Texas Tech won that game. It was a shootout, dude. They were going back and forth, back and forth. And I remember this game, it came down to like the last play of the game, and Texas Tech just got the play in that they needed to get in. Big play, won the game. So I mean, it's an exciting matchup. Just want to say, like, if you have these 2 teams going up against each other, it's going to be a hell of a game.
Well, let me ask you this, Joe. It is pretty much common knowledge that you can get in as an SEC school into the playoff of a 12-team playoff with 2 losses, right? Because if you have 2 solid losses, you can get in. Can Texas lose to Georgia this weekend, which they're going to be underdogs in?
Oh,
They play the Bulldogs on ABC Saturday night, 6:30 kickoff. But they come back and on the last game of the season beat an undefeated Texas A&M team, which might be the number 1, 2, or 3 team in the nation.
all I know is that I don't want to see any of y'all coming up here singing Texas praises. Y'all just wrote our off in the beginning. Don't come back. We don't want you. Stay gone.
But I mean, their record right now is they're 7-2. That one loss that they had against Florida is bad. But let's say that they have a 3-loss team. They lost to Florida, but they also lost to Ohio State, which is a number 1 team in the nation right now. They lost to, let's say that they beat A&M, though. If they beat A&M, can they justify beating the playoff as, say, the 12th seed with a 9-3 record, which the resume would say a bad loss against Florida, but a good loss against Georgia and Ohio State, but quality wins against Vanderbilt, quality wins against OU, quality wins against, say, A&M. Is that good enough, Joe?
They're in charge. They're in charge of their own fate, right? And they got to win. If you don't keep winning, you're gonna fall out, and you're gonna watch yourself just get kicked out of the playoff bracket. Gonna be on the outside looking in. This Georgia matchup, that's interesting, and so is the Arkansas game, and then to end the season against Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
In order to stay in the hunt, they got to win out. They're in charge of their own destiny right now.
Yes, they do control their own destiny, but can they have a hiccup along the way? Can they beat Georgia and then lose to A&M? Because what if, Joe, what if the resume goes like this? They beat Georgia this week. They lose to A&M in a close game, but they can look up and go, hey, man, we lost 3 games, but our 2 losses were to the number 1 team, Ohio State, and the number 2 team, A&M. Give us a break because of that.
No.
I know they lost to Florida. Florida's going to have a losing record. But still, it's an interesting question to ask because this is the one good thing about Texas this year is that they have a hell of a schedule that they played.
Yeah.
They got a hell of a schedule that they played. That Florida game might screw them, Joe. It doesn't give them any wiggle room.
Well, I have to see, dude. I mean, Texas can lose maybe one game, but again, if they do that, they're going ahead and putting their fate in the hands of another team.
Yeah.
Because they're going to either need another team to win or another team to lose in order to make it in. And that's not what you want to do at the end of the day. That's just a fool's errand. So if they can finish strong and Arch can prove the naysayers wrong and finish out the season strong and win these next 3 games, meet our Archie.
We have a big matchup tonight on Monday Night Football, 7:15 on ESPN and ABC. You have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Packers coming in at 5-2-1. The Eagles are 6-2. Green Bay favored by 1.5 at Lambeau. It's going to be a cold game there at Lambeau Field. It was an interesting weekend in the NFL. Well, on Thursday night, you had the Broncos beating the Raiders 10-7. The Colts held on for an overtime victory over the Falcons. The Bears had a big come from behind victory. They were down by 2 scores with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Come back to beat the Giants 24-20. Jackson Dart taken out of the game for concussion protocol. The Dolphins somehow beat the living crap out of Josh Allen and the Bills. The Ravens won their 3rd in a row against the Vikings 27-19. Now 1 game behind the Pittsburgh Steelers there in that division because the Steelers lost 25-10 last night to
This was the
Chargers.
game of the day yesterday, Mike. Texans, Jags.
That went back and forth, man. I mean, the Broncos,
game.
the Jaguars were up big early on in the game, and then you blink and the Texans go on to win 36-29.
They outscored them in the fourth quarter, dude, to come back.
You had 2 games that were the identical scores, 44-22, double ups, or as Sir Mix-a-Lot would say, double up. Seahawks keep winning. They beat the Cardinals 44-22. The Commanders lost to the Lions 44-22. The Rams 42-26 over the Niners, and my stupid Saints beat the Panthers 17-7.
Why?
I know, Joe.
They know the assignment, dude. Somebody should be suspended for that game.
I know. Why did they bench Spencer Rattler, man? Spencer Rattler was trash. But look, Joe, the New England Patriots have won 7 games in a row.
Didn't I tell you they were my dark horse team? I told you all.
Dude, what's most impressive, Joe? They're 3-2 at home, 5-0 on the road. The Patriots are undefeated on the road. They're a game and a half ahead of the Buffalo Bills. So the Bills would have to make their way through multiple road games to make it to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh lost. Ravens have won 3 in a row. Ravens are 4-5, and Lamar Jackson's looking like an MVP kind of player again. He's not going to be the MVP this year, but he's back. And suddenly the team is winning, 4-5 record, 1 game behind the Steelers. I would bet you a lot of money that they're going to catch. They're going to catch the Steelers. The Colts keep winning, 8-2. They have a 2.5 game lead over the Jaguars.
That was a good game they
AFC
had
South.
yesterday against the Falcons, dude.
Yeah, it was that early game. It was that game where
Yeah.
you better have put your fantasy lineup in by 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Look at the Chiefs, though, in the AFC. If the playoffs were to start right now, Chiefs ain't in it.
No.
All these people are like, well, Patrick Mahomes, dude, the people who jump on Patrick Mahomes' jock right now. Okay, I know that Rashee Rice wasn't there most of the year because of the suspension. I know that Kelsey's playing better. But my God, ESPN, my God, NFL.com, don't get on their jock until they are eligible to be in the playoffs. I don't understand it. I know that he's won multiple Super Bowl rings and all that stuff, and he's an all-time great. I get that, Joe. But that's when you have a 1 or 2 seed, Joe, and you have all these home games and all these teams that to come, and you just decimate them over at Arrowhead. They're 5-4. They're in 3rd place in their division, Joe. Not only it's not like they have to go catch the Broncos who are 8-2. They got to catch the Chargers who are 7-3, and they're 5-4. Dude, it's not like we're like a quarter of the way into the season with like, Jimenez, calm down. It's just September. Calm down. It's just October. No, Joe. Thanksgiving's in 2 weeks, and they're 2.5 games behind. Good Lord.
I like how all the haters come out, dude, because I'm over here standing up for Archie. they're like, Joe didn't rep the Longhorns until Manning took over. T-shirt fan. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? We've been talking about them since we've done the show. It's just like the haters like Elias and everybody else, they just come out of here out of the woodwork saying like crazy stuff like that. Like we've been talking about them since last year. Run the tape.
Yeah, I mean,
Craziness.
I go to DKR and I'll be a T-shirt fan for the day, but I know that I'm a T-shirt fan for the Longhorns.
Yeah,
I know
mean,
that.
that's not your money doesn't go there. You know, my money goes to UTSA because of my daughter.
Matt Gomez reaches out and says, "Hate harder, ho, KC all day." Hey, well, wake me up when they're a top 7 team in the AFC. Because if they were to sneak in at 7, Joe, their road to the Super Bowl would be on the road against Denver, on the road against Baltimore, and then on the road against Indianapolis. That's what they would need to do to make it all the way to the Super Bowl. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Over in the NFC, Joe, who would have thought that the 1 seed this late in the season would be the Seattle Seahawks? The Jackson Smith and Jigba is just like the super stud. And they got Rashid Shaheed from the Saints. They fleeced the Saints on that trade on deadline day, making them better. The Eagles could tie them with the 7-2 record at the end of this night because they play Green Bay tonight. Green Bay coming in at 5-2-1. Tampa at 6-3. The Raiders, the Rams rather, at 7-2. The Lions at 6-3, and the Bears keeping pace at 6-3. And then you have the 49ers at 6-4. Dude, the 8 seed in the NFC is 6-4. The Cowboys at 3-5-1.
Cowboys are done, bro.
Ago.
They're done, dude. they've been done for quite some time, man. That NFC East is garbage, dude. You just got the Eagles, and everybody else is just not it, man.
Joe, show some love for me real fast.
Yeah.
Make more money. As you say, cry harder, ho. Make more monies, hoes. Here's my number, 210-508-0369, 210-508-0369. I've been in financial services for 19 years. I put on a polo shirt or a long sleeve shirt after this, and I get on my client Zooms, and I talk to people about their retirement accounts, their investments, their insurances, and I strategize for people how to go from point A to point B. It's not just a one account. It's a strategy to help people maneuver their way through retirement. And it's one of those things where you got to make that nest egg stretch out. When people are investing money between ages 20 through 60, 65, their goal is to make as much money as possible. But after 65, the goal is to what? Not run out of money.
Yeah.
And I show people how to do that, how to stretch their money, get the most out of what they have there. And when do they take Social Security? What about their benefits at work, Medicare, all that stuff? Give me a call. If you have questions about life insurance, disability, long-term care, give me a call. Auto insurance, homeowner insurance, I got guys that do that. 210-508-0369. 210-508-0369. As Tony Ornalis points out, Mike says, get a job and let me handle the money, baby. And Sean Quintero says, Mike makes money for my friends. That's true. Sean Quintero has sent me some referrals, and they've become clients. And guess what, Joe? Do you think their balances are up or down? They're up, baby. They're up. Very nice. Let's show some love to Sean Quintero, by the way. He's one of the big wigs over at P.F. Chang's La Cantera. They power the chat. Again, we're sponsored by P.F. Chang's La Cantera.
P.F. Chang's La Cantera, San Antonio's premier destination for dinner, date night, or happy hour. Enjoy one of their signature dishes, such as the Singapore street noodles, sesame chicken, or Chang's spicy chicken, or their infamous Chang's chicken lettuce wraps, which are delicious, by the way. You can enjoy all this while you're dining in an Asian-inspired atmosphere. And make sure to enjoy the new outdoor patio and try some of P.F. Chang's signature cocktails and drinks during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. P.F. Chang's La Cantera is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast.
Hour again from 3 to 6. Go sit outside, enjoy the chilly weather. It's very, very, very nice over there. They have a nice setup. Again, the lychee martini is a big, big win for the women. And eat the lychee. Okay, Joe had a lychee martini the other day. He was afraid of the lychee. Eat the lychee. It tastes delicious. Lemon drop martini, also badass over there. The the Long Island iced tea, the Jade Margarita, all that they've got going on. They've got 8 drinks for $8.99, open to close, but happy hour from 3 to 6. And Joe, smoked old fashioned. Trust us.
Good. It was good.
Trust us when it comes to that.
You
We
know where
have,
else I had an old fashioned over the weekend?
yeah.
I went to Flick's Brew House with my boy Jonas Clark, a good friend of mine. We went over there and I had an old fashioned over there, but they make it with Evan Williams, dude. I wanted it to be with Woodford's Reserve. And they're like, well, if we make it with Woodford's, we got to give you a double shot and it'll be $22. I said, F it, dude. I want Woodford's.
With Chica and I went to this place called Trulux the other day, and it's a really nice restaurant here in the Woodlands. And it's our wedding night, you know. Okay, so Chica and I, we went out and got our wedding ceremony, which we got that taken care of. And she's like, let's go get something to eat. And she wanted to go like Texas Roadhouse, something like that. I was like, babe, I mean, I
That's
like
where the
Roadhouse.
poors eat, Mike. That's what you
No. Roadhouse is nice. It's nice. I love the combination. You know, get me the ribs with the chicken, or get me the steak or whatever.
You're gonna get you're gonna get a whole bowl of rolls to go, Mike.
I have no problem with Texas Roadhouse. Them good eats, right? But I saw it and I was like, babe, we just got married. Let's go like to a nice restaurant. So we went to Trulux, which is a really nice restaurant. They had a $28 old fashioned, Joe. And I thought to myself, that's kind of expensive for a drink. Tried it was really good. Okay, better be. It was $28. But we went to this one Italian restaurant the next day with her kids, because we're celebrating not only our wedding, but it was also her birthday, because her birthday was Thursday. We got married on Friday. And we went to this Italian restaurant. It was really nice Italian restaurant, very cheap, very affordable restaurant.
Where, in the Woodlands?
This was also in the Woodlands, but it was the same price as you would get like at Olive Garden, but it was nice. It was like very quaint. It was very all that stuff. They had an old fashioned there that went for $17. Still kind of pricey for me, but it was so good, Joe. And I told Chica, I was like, Chica, this was better than the $28 one. She goes, now we have a new place to go because it's inexpensive to go there. We get in and out for $40 each, or $40 total.
And this is an Italian restaurant?
It was an Italian restaurant. It was an Italian wine bar. And I was like, compliments to the chef for getting this out there.
When I go visit you and Chica over there in Houston, we got to go there, Mike.
Oh yeah, it's really good, dude. It's really good. I like
get us an old fashioned round of old fashions.
Yeah, it was good stuff, man. Good stuff. Joe, the married life, I like it, dude. I like it.
You like being taken care of?
Chica downstairs making me breakfast. She made me papas con huevo with bacon and cheese.
She makes you food for the whole week, bro.
She does. She makes my breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, like from Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sunday we go out to eat. But you know what, Joe? What's funny about that, Joe? We were talking about this the other day. Because she has conditioned me to eat a certain way, I go to San Antonio, I can't eat, man.
Your stomach no longer accepts the manteca. You can't accept the manteca.
It rejects it. Even as delicious as the pandadillas are over there, I take one bite, I'm like, which is weird because
no more concha?
Dude, pan de huevo, I love pan de huevo. But Joe, I stepped on the scale today. It's the lowest I've weighed in about 5 years.
Nice.
And I know I had food poisoning early this last week, but regardless, that's come and gone. It's been a few days since then. I'm the lowest I've been in 5 years since the beginning of my weight loss journey, which I've yo-yoed along the way. The highest point I was looking at photos of myself from 2 years ago, Joe. And I was big, Joe. I was a fat ass.
That was a San Antonio food.
It was, and it was also being married to somebody who didn't put health as a priority. I have lost since then 22.5 pounds.
Not bad.
Yeah, and I've lost since this summer about 12. So do all the memes you want, Joe. I'm slimming down a little bit at a time. Yeah, Tony saying the food poisoning made you lose some weight. Yeah, a lot
It did.
about 3 pounds. But you know what, Joe? That passed about 4 or 5 days ago, Joe. So this is just who I am now. It's my weight now.
No.
Saying I'm allergic to tortillas. Sam
You know
asked a
what they're
question.
building a Go
Well,
ahead.
Sam asked the question: Is does this mean I'm going to put the pounds back on the married life, dude? I've been living with Chica for 9 months, so I think this is just the way that things are. Chica's down 15, Joe.
That's good.
You saw her the other day; she's down 15
Oh
pounds.
yeah.
She,
Chica
she,
and you looking good.
she didn't lose; she didn't need to, but she's down 15.
Yeah, y'all both look good. I was gonna say, you know what they're building around the house right here, just around the corner now. I don't know if you saw it. Like when you're right here on my area, right by 151,
Yeah, what's up?
and you're going towards 1604 now. Right before you get, I think it's right before you get to like was it the Mexican restaurant that we have here? Las Palapas, right? Right
Okay,
before you get there, until you hit that like Petranco's cross section there, they have a taco planeque.
really?
They're building it. It's already erected. They have the sign, the building. I guess they're putting everything else in there. And I just saw that and I started laughing because a grin came to my face, and I'm like, "That's poor people food." That's from classification from what
Yeah.
Chica would classify it as because it's fast food, right? I was like, "That's for the poorest, Mike."
I mean, Taco Palenque at least offers avocado on their tacos, right? It's not San Antonio food by any stretch of the imagination,
No,
but the Matamoros taco over at Palenque, pretty good, dude. It's basically fajita meat it's a fried corn tortilla, if that makes any sense, right? It's like
no,
and it has the fajita the beef fajita meat, big old slices of avocado, queso fresco on there.
pretty good.
It's hard, dude.
I
It's hard.
don't mind the taco palenque. It's good. I mean, they have is it that one Spurs meal that you can get out there? The Spurs, they call it the Spurs combo, and it's like a big old burrito, dude. You can't eat that damn thing by yourself. It's so much. You got to cut it in half and share it. You know, it has like beef fajita in there, and you get the Spurs cup and everything that comes with it, and you get chips and queso. It's all right, but it's like $15. You know. So it's not bad. I tried it, you know, but I was like, damn, there ain't no way I'm gonna eat this burrito by myself. That thing was it was heavy, Mike.
Yeah. But it's funny because like this is where I get spoiled. This is where I
Yeah.
get to brag a little bit. Best chorizo de egg I've ever had in my entire life. Chica makes it.
Oh, really?
Best papas con huevo is actually my mom, but Chica's a close second to that. Chica loves making fideo. She loves making conchas. She likes making or the conchitas.
Yeah, those are
She
good.
she's downstairs making food for the rest of the night. I have no. I am not gonna complain. You know what she tells
Yeah.
me to go do while she's doing all that?
Make more money.
Go make money. Go make
There you
money.
go.
I'm looking online, Joe. Did you know Rob Gronkowski officially retired from the NFL today? He's been gone for
Really?
a while. He's been doing all the games in the on broadcasting. Gronk never filed his retirement paperwork, but he finally did that today.
I said that he was gonna get like a 1-day deal with the actual Patriots so he could retire. It's gonna happen sometime this week.
Yeah. Interesting story coming out of LSU. Brian Kelly, the LSU former LSU head coach who got there from Notre Dame, was a bad hire
Yeah.
from the get go. I know they had some pretty decent seasons, but still, he got let go. $54 million left on the books. The governor of Louisiana came in and said, dude, we're not going to let the athletic director pick the next coach because this is the second time he's done that. He did that at A&M. He did that at LSU, where he's fired somebody after giving them a monster contract. Apparently, with $54 million on his contract, LSU tried buying him out. And Brian Kelly's like, nah, I want it all. give me my money.
Give him my money right now. That's what he said.
Hey, Joe, I was watching this thing. I don't know if I brought this up last week. It was the first time since 1990 last week that the Billboard Top 100 Billboard 100 best or top songs in the nation.
Yeah.
It was the first time since 1990 that not one song was a rap song.
Really.
Isn't that weird?
It's weird, but I mean, given the popularity of like pop music, it's not surprising.
But not one. There was no Drake. There was no Kendrick Lamar. There was no nothing. Like right now, the number one song in the nation, according to Billboard 100, is the Fate of Ophelia by Taylor Swift. But going through, you have Alex Warren. You've got a Justin Bieber song. But you go through all of them. Leon Thomas is out there with a top 10 hit. Leon Thomas.
No.
I remember him from the TV show Victorious back in the day with Ariana Grande. But there is no songs. There's a Morgan Wallen song, Sabrina Carpenter songs. There's no rap in here. So it's kind of funny because I saw this TikTok the other day where it was a DJ who was saying that when they play music, hip hop and rap, that kids these days, I say kids, not about people like Gabby's age, like your daughter's age, like Chica's kids' age, early 20s. And we know this because we go to like these nightclubs. Because Chica and I, we went to a nightclub on the St. Mary's Strip the other day, right?
Oh God.
We went to Wave Room over there, which it was me and Chica with about 1,000 20-year-olds in there dancing to music over there, right? We've gone to that Be Kind Rewind across from the Alamo, right, which is a nightclub over there. Bunch of mid 20-year-olds in there, right? They're bumping 90s and 2000s music, Joe.
Yeah.
Everything that's from like 1990 to 2005. And this DJ that came out on TikTok was saying, ain't nobody asking for Kendrick Lamar, ain't nobody asking for Drake, ain't nobody asking for relatively new rap music anymore. That all hip hop these days is being recycled. That kids are now being introduced to Biggie, they're being introduced to Pac and to Dre and to Snoop, and that there's nothing new anymore. And rock music's having that same fate right now, Joe. Kind of sucks.
Mike was pissed. One thing I was going to talk about too, because I was kind of hinting, I had went to the Flicks Brew House over the weekend because I was hanging out with my boy Jonas. Like I said, he's a good friend of mine. And we were catching up, and I said, you know what, man? I said, I want to go see this flick on the weekend, dude. I said, I'll get the tickets and whatnot. So we went out there and we went to go see Predator Badlands. Now, I know you're probably not familiar with Predator and the lore and the franchise and all that. You probably watched the one movie.
I've seen two of them.
Okay. So, I mean, you know what a Predator movie is, but this one's a little different. Right. I'm not going to ruin it for anybody, but this is different. Like you don't have to have, let's say, be familiar with all the lore, right? You can just go and watch this film and be like, hey, it's a good flick, Right. And it's a lot different than just your typical Predator movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And they're like, well, it's a PG-13. It's not going to be good. It's not rated R, this and that. It was good. I gave it a chance, man. I got to say, it's one of the best Predator movies that I've seen. Second to Prey. Yeah, Second to Prey. And the third best Predator movie would be the OG one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? You got your 1, 2, 3. It was good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. A lot of action from the get-go. It was a legit story, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. And then you're on the fence of thinking about, hey, should I go? Should I not? It was good. I enjoyed it. It was a good movie. It's a good popcorn flick. It's not like, was it that one Beetlejuice? You're gonna go in there and watch it, and you're gonna be entertained, Mike.
Well, look at the tomato meter they have there. 85% of people who are critics liked it. 95% of
the audience.
Look up a movie that I saw over the weekend on Rotten Tomatoes. It was called Sarah's Oil.
Okay.
And it's Sarah with an H. It was we saw that, Chica and I saw that with her kids over the weekend. I want to know what the ratings are about that. It stars Zachary Levi from the Shazam movies.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Doesn't have a lot. It just has like the popcorn meter, which is going to be
98%.
Audience. 98% of the audience like it.
Yeah, family movie. Sarah's Oil came out this weekend. I guess not a lot of reviews. It's probably a very low number of theaters that are showing it. But it's about the richest African American teenager of all time. There was it's a story about a teenage girl who was 14 years old, who was half Native American, half African American, or at least had both in her, and that um, she was granted land rights,
Yeah.
like several acres of land, and it was the belief was that there could be oil underneath that land, and she became ultimately the richest teenager of all time at that time. And this was back in the early 1900s. It was an interesting story. I don't know how much of it is factual as far as the drama behind it all. But this person actually did exist and was a multimillionaire at the age of 14. It was a pretty interesting story.
Wow.
But Sarah's Oil, I mean, I give it a. It was a good movie. It was fine. We all enjoyed it. It wasn't the greatest movie of all time, but it wasn't a bad movie at all time.
Yeah,
It was good.
this is something that I definitely ain't gonna be seeing, bro. Like I have to see sci-fi, gotta go see action, something like that. Animated, I'm watching some totally different, but I'm glad y'all enjoyed the flick. But all this weekend was all about Predator Badlands.
Mhm.
It had $105 million budget. It made about $80.2 million globally. So it's almost there, at least breaking even. So if it can go ahead and cross the threshold and make a profit, you better be sure they're going to be making more. And the new director that they have is the same one. The guy that's directing this film is the new director they had that was in charge of directing Prey, which was really good. And now he's doing this one, Badlands, and it sets things up for the continuation of the story and these characters. So it's cool. I hope they do more.
Um, are there any good movies coming out this fall, this winter? Because usually you have that whole Thanksgiving, Christmas type of thing where they usually have a good blockbuster come out.
Yeah, they got that new Avatar movie coming out, um, and that one looks interesting, but it's kind of more the same, a continuation of that story there. And they're putting out, was it that Five Nights at Freddy's? They had that as a trailer out there. I'm just
Oh,
like,
really?
it's not really my thing, man, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, you have some films that are going to be coming out in November, and I can tell you what they have. They have The Running Man, which is
Okay.
going to a remake of the old school movie that we saw with Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day. What else do they have? Nuremberg. They got Predator Badlands, which was the one that was for me. That's the one that's the hit, of the month of November. They got some other stuff, Wicked, coming out here,
Oh, the new
and
one.
the new one. So I mean, they got some, movies coming out, but for the most part, I mean, they're not cranking out banger after banger,
Joe, tonight the Spurs take on the Chicago Bulls. Spurs are favored by 3.5 points against a Bulls team that's doing very good. A Bulls team, Joe, that is led by a former Spur, Trey Jones. Um, is it because Trey Jones was with a different team? Is needed a different type of surrounding? Here's the last two games for Trey Jones. Against Cleveland, he had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Against Milwaukee, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. On the season, averaging 13, 4, and 5. Serviceable. Okay,
Yeah.
not a star or anything like that. But we have Josh Giddey is questionable, according to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs. Zach Collins, Kobe White out. Patrick Williams is probable for the Bulls. Meantime, for the Spurs, we have some questionables for the Big Elote, Luke Cornett. Dylan Harper will be out tonight. Give me a prediction for tonight's game, Joe.
Oh man, that's a tough one, Mike, because I went against the Spurs this last one against the Houston Rockets, and they actually beat the Rockets.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say tonight, if Wemby gets off to a hot start right out the gate, Spurs win. I'm not going to say they're going to win convincingly. I think they're going to win, but I think the 3.5 is pretty accurate. as far as what the Vegas odd makers have given the Spurs, as far as them being able to go ahead and win, give them the edge by 3.5. I'll
Right.
give them that. I think they'll be victorious tonight. But again, I think it's going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be a good test for the Spurs against a decent, Chicago Bulls team that's not playing at full strength. They're missing some pieces, including San Antonio's former San Antonio Spur player, Zach Collins.
And Collins has played better when he's in a Bulls uniform
Yeah,
versus a
that he
Spurs
has.
uniform. I'm going to look at what happens with Trey Jones versus De'Aaron Fox. Like De'Aaron Fox, Trey Jones can't play defense for
No.
crap. So I think this could be a big night for Trey Jones. I mean, not Trey Jones, for De'Aaron Fox. If there's no Giddy, I mean, how are they going to get the ball around? The Spurs should win this game. And look at that. Look at the expectations that we have on this team, Joe. Never before would we say, hey, against a 6-3 team, you should expect them to do well. But look at the lineup here. Vucevic is one guy on that team that does give the Spurs fits. Vucevic averaging 17.8 points per game and nearly 11 rebounds per game. I mean, if they could just prevent like a Buzelis or a Kevin Huerter from going off, the Spurs should be fine. I think the Spurs have a more talented team than the Bulls. But the one thing the Bulls do have, Joe, and you know this, because going all the way back to the 90s, that Chicago Bulls crowd is one of the best in the NBA.
Oh yeah, dude, they get into it, man. There
Tony
was a
Rob-
social media influencer that I just saw. I follow the guy because he's funny. He's Latino, right? And he does a lot of Latino bits. Making fun of Latinos and the moms and all that kind of stuff and
Yeah.
how they are with the kids in the household. They invited that guy out there, right, to go and see, behind the scenes what happens at a Chicago Bulls game. And he was sitting in decent seats, in the lower bowl. Mike, that crowd was loud in the lower bowl, man. They were getting into that game. It was a far cry from what happens here in San Anto. Like when you sit in the lower bowl with some of the, other people in there, they don't get rowdy like that, dude. They're not screaming and yelling like they do in the upper bowl. But it was good to see that they did that right at the Chicago Bulls game. Like the crowd was into it in the lower bowl. It's like San Antonio fans could take a page out of that and be like, hey, it's okay to get excited if you're in the lower bowl, and show emotion.
Mhm.
But most importantly, if the Spurs make the playoffs this year, wear the T-shirts. Wear the shirts. They don't wear them here, Mike. You've seen
Mhm.
that. They give them the free shirt, and what do? They just leave them there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the shirts that they do give out there are usually
They're all extra large, Mike.
they're all extra large, and they're also all very cheap. They're all cheaply made. There's this new Spurs fan who, was all about Spurs Jesus for so long, but there's that new redhead guy that's going up and down. I think he's one of the Jackals.
Big Red. I think is what they
Big-
call
Big
him.
Red?
Yeah.
At what point are we all going to get tired of that guy?
He's just a
Dude.
lot of energy. He's having fun right now, dude.
He's there looking like Raleigh Fingers with that mustache curling off to the
Yeah, but
side.
you like the guy's enthusiasm, dude. It's right now he's untainted, by the social media lore and all that stuff. He's just out there having fun right now. So it's like let him have his fun.
Mhm.
He ain't Spurs Jesus trying to shake you down for hey, you want to take a picture with me? That's $10, kid.
Yeah. And the audacity for somebody to ask that of somebody. Jason
Yeah.
saying that Amazon Prime, when the Spurs were on the other day on Amazon Prime, you guess what a lot of people were saying on Twitter, on Spurs Twitter, that they had
Go
never
ahead.
seen Amazon Prime before. And guess
It
what they all
looked good.
thought? It looked
It
good,
looked
right?
Good, Mike. It was in HD. Full HD. The graphics look clean. The picture was very nice. It was a lot better than what? The FanDuel network.
And then you look at that court on Friday night against the Rockets.
It was nice.
It was sexy. That was
It was a-
sexy ass court.
It was a little better than Marbach nice, Mike.
A lot better than Marbach Nice.
It was a
Tony
nice
Ronas
court.
Tony Ronas asking the question: how many minutes are the Bulls giving Trey Jones? On average, 29 minutes per game. Trying to see some of the comments that we may have missed along the way. Sean Quintero says he wants to see the new Wicked.
No.
Mario asking if I've ever watched Yellowstone. Yellowstone's great.
You know which two courts were bad? And Jason hit it right on the head right here. The nail right on the head. That Denver court was atrocious, dude. It was disgusting. It was like bubble gum threw up all over the court, dude. It was just like pink. It was pink, just a big blur of pink. It was ugly. Like, why would they do that? It was, you know, what would have been better if they would have just went ahead and went with the natural wood finish for Denver, right? But had some type of graphic that you could barely see. Like, it was subtle. Like, you could
Right.
see that they had some type of intricate graphic or something. But Denver, man, that pink court, it looked ugly, dude.
Well, the announcers on Amazon Prime were saying that the Spurs court was the best one that they ever seen.
Oh, it
That
looks
they
nice.
said that it was the best one they'd ever seen. Frank Santini reaches out to us earlier in the show saying Spurs are in the same group as of elite as the Nuggets and Thunder. Just watch. I like it.
Like the
Tony
enthusiasm.
Tony saying, do you have a dance song or a song with Chica for your wedding? Our song is Every Time I Close My Eyes by Babyface. We saw
No,
Babyface
dude.
in concert.
Was that Color Me Bad song?
I want to sex you up.
And you got to put your
TikTok,
hands in
you
the
don't
air like that
stop.
and do the little twirl.
The All for Love.
I
I do it all for love.
remember I told that one time to Chica. She started laughing, dude. I said, Mike's got to do the little twirl, you know, when he's doing the karaoke.
Nah, Chica's great, dude.
Well, there you
Locked
go,
on
man.
Spurs. Jeff Garcia from Locked on Spurs says there was some whispering on Spurs press row that some did not like the Spurs Cup court.
How?
Uh,
Come, I
how
mean, it
do-
was a nice court, dude.
I'm not denying what you're saying, Jeff, but I'll tell you what, man, it looks sweet. And the announcers were just raving about it on that broadcast.
Yeah,
They were just raving, saying this is beautiful, this is elegant.
it is.
And it's funny because I showed it to Chica. Chica was like going, "That's a good looking court," And then within 24 hours, they had to take it all off and bring the regular court back on. It was kind of sad to watch. But the Spurs are 1-0 in the Cup play. I have never been excited about Cup play, Joe. But if they advance to the next level, the next stages, Joe, do we hang a banner? I mean, is that what we do if we win it?
Hey, you hang a banner if you win it. They're gonna have like celebrating going on. You know, should they do it as bad as L.A. when they won it? They act like they won the finals.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That was like the NBA, tourney for the season. All right, it's like, okay, be excited that you won, but you don't need to have the champagne and all that. Like, come on, man.
Mid-season champs, baby. Mid-season champs.
You know what's going to look better than the court that they had here for the, tournament that they have going on?
What's that?
That Fiesta court, dude.
Oh, really? They bringing back the fast breaking Fiesta colors?
Yeah, they have the court. They're going to bring it back for, the city edition nights. That's going to look really nice, with the Fiesta. They have the old school Fiesta court too, just like it used to look like, back in the day with the Spurs logo, the old school Fiesta logo in the middle of the court. And they have like the nice accents and stuff with like the tribal graphic that they have there. And the outline of the court is black and it says San Antonio. The jerseys are the old school black jerseys, from back in the day with the little Fiesta accent across the chest. It says San
Nice.
Antonio. It's going to look nice, a little harken back there to the old school ways,
Looks
of
good.
Fiesta. Yeah.
Looks good. Hey, we saw that report from G Northeast Jones. Did you see that, Joe?
No.
She's not going to stand in the way of the arena.
No, miss, dude. I don't believe her for a second.
She just basically says that at this point she's focusing on all the promises that the Spurs made and making sure that they're fulfilled, and that she's worried more about the snap,
bro.
worried more about the snap recipients right now than anything else.
You know what I have to say to that? If you really want to go ahead and get behind progress, just remember this picture, bro. Just remember that picture. The picture, you know what they say? A picture says a lot about you, right?
Yeah.
What does this say? She took over a
press
little
conference.
rally that they had there, a little press conference, took the microphone away so she could spew her venom.
Now, she's not saying that she's going to roll out the red carpet, but she at least conceded the understanding that she lost.
Yeah.
She has very little political capital to go on, and her reaction has been that it's about the next steps. I will give this. We've given her so much crap, right? Well, I will say this: she has done the right thing since her loss, because it was her loss on Tuesday of last week.
Yeah.
Because she fought misinformation campaign and all that stuff. She has no leg to stand on if she wants to get in the way of it all. Now she's asking the question about, well, okay, the Spurs are promising this and the other. Then they better come through with that. Show us what that's going to look like, and we'll focus on that. But as far as the arena is concerned, and Joe, the videos and photos coming out of what used to be the Institute of Texan Cultures, guess what, Joe? They're working on it now.
What's its name now, Mike?
Gone.
Gone. What do those guys wanted? The ones that were trying to go ahead and stop the progress and get an injunction, or have one of the judges say, stop demolishing the place. They can go out there and they can go get them a little crumb of what used to be, and they can hang it in their freaking wall.
Yeah.
But you got to move forward, man. That's from the World's Fair, Mike. How many things are still erected from the World's Fair besides the tower?
Yeah.
You know, not very much remains of that, because it was so long ago. I mean, yes, it's part of history, but it's time to move forward. We're in the now. We're in the future, Mike. I want to see the Alamo Dome get a facelift. You know, I want to see a new sports and entertainment district downtown. I want things to do before the game, and then after the game, you can celebrate a win. Hey, Mike, let's go down, the Riverwalk there and go have a drink somewhere.
Right.
You know, we're not getting out of Dodge because we're way out
Let's
there
do
on the east
something.
side. Yeah, do something, man. Like, no, we don't have to worry about that no more. So it's going to be interesting. I think Chica might like even going to the game, dude, because there's
she
things to
would.
do before and after, you know?
In fact, Josh, he goes by Josh Jolly. He's sometimes on our chat,
Yeah.
powered by PF Chang's Alcantara. He reached out to me and said that the Houston area has a Spurs fan group that they're trying to involve me in.
Yeah.
And what they try to do is when the Spurs take on the Rockets there at the Toyota in Houston, that they all try to take over one section.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that my dad and I went to go watch the Rockets and the Spurs a while back, a couple years ago. We actually accidentally ended up in that section, not by design.
Yeah.
There just happened to be the tickets that we bought, and it happened to be the Spurs section, which was the coolest thing. By the way, on the expressnews.com, if you want to Google an article that was from a couple of days ago, you don't have to do this or anything like that, but those who are just watching right now, there's a column by Greg Jefferson, says an analysis. The Spurs arena vote taught Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones a hard political lesson, how she needs to reinvent herself. Interesting column talking about the fact that very rarely does a big city mayor go toe-to-toe with a private entity like the Spurs and lose. Usually when they go toe-to-toe, they win.
What did she do immediately after conceding? She showed up, right, to the conference, the little press conference, the party that they had, showing that, hey, I'm here, I'm going to be part of this moving forward, But it was like, why couldn't you do that just from the get-go? Like, I knew there was things that she might have had reservations against, and you didn't need to go on a disinformation campaign. To me, that just says a lot about your character.
Right. And that's the thing, is that we don't know what kind of character she has. The column goes on to say that bystanders were kind of upset that she showed up at the Spurs rally on election night. And it was even before the early votes had come in. Here's what we could have seen, Joe. She could have shown up over there, the votes come in, and it'd be in her favor, and she could have danced on their grave. But she shows up over there because, remember, they were expecting the votes to be released at 7:30. They didn't get released like 9 p.m., almost 9 p.m. And she's there, and then it gets shown that the Spurs, probably A and B, A for the rodeo and B for the Spurs, were passing pretty significantly, enough to be comfortable for the Spurs to declare victory, and that she did not address the crowd there. Well, it wasn't her party, so I don't see how she would, but still, she took a few photos with the whole family and bailed. And how now her mayorship is just twisting in the wind right now. No one can take her seriously. She needs to reinvent herself in a certain way, because you don't want to have a mayor that's powerless. You don't want to have a dictator of a mayor, but you also don't want one that's powerless. She just has no charisma, Joe. You know why? Because she's military. And I'm sorry, Joe, But them military ways don't work in city politics. They might work well in the federal government, but city politics is a different animal. She wasn't prepared for it. She didn't want this job. April
And
Ancira said as much.
basically all it was is just showing that she didn't have the experience for the job. And she didn't have experience as being a mayor. She had run here several times, to be was it district, to run a district here, be in charge of a district, whatever it was. She never won. I think she'd give it like 3 tries and she was always losing, losing and losing. And then she's like, I'm going to try to be mayor this time. It just so happened she was in the right place at the right time. Not a lot of people showed up to vote. Lo and behold, she becomes the mayor. So, I mean, that's something that San Antonians are going to have to live with. You all voted for somebody that had no experience in how to run a city. What did you think was going to happen?
Didn't understand the protocol of how City Hall works, about how votes
Basic
happen,
stuff.
the very basics of it all. She wasn't prepared for. Not at
No.
all.
And she still does that same thing, Mike, where she tells the people, well, we could use this money for other things. No, you can't. If you don't use the money for its intended purpose, what happens, Mike? The government takes that bond, they take that bond money right back and give it to another city.
I think that sometimes people need to understand that there is I don't think I'm using the phrase correctly, newsmatic. Newsmatic basically means something of value that is not valuable at all. I'll give you an example. If you were to go buy a silver piece, a silver round, might cost you $40, $45 for a silver round, right? 1 ounce of silver.
Yeah.
If I was to put the Darth Vader on it, there would be a Star Wars fan who would buy that 1 ounce silver piece that's $45 and he'll pay $75 for it because why? Darth Vader's photos on there.
Yeah.
Or Darth Maul or Luke Skywalker or Princess Leia, whatever. There's a newsmatic effect to it all where it doesn't make anything more valuable. It's you get the feels. You just enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
You can't monetize the enjoyment or accurately define or quantify the enjoyment of what it's like to be a Spurs fan.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to be analytical with us and go, well, we could go do this and that and all and the other with the money. We could go do this and the other. And is it really that important? They're not going to leave and all that stuff. What do the Spurs bring to the city? And you know what? The Spurs bring joy to the city. It brings a unity to the city. It's one of the few things that unites the north, the west, the south, the east side of San Antonio, and the
Brings a
surrounding
pride.
communities.
Brings a pride to the city. Something you can be proud of.
And yes, UTSA goes. Yes, the Spurs go off and give to the community and all that stuff. That could be quantified, but the feeling, the pride, the coming together of that cannot be quantified. Because of that, the people who are against the arena don't want to include that in the equation.
Yeah.
Like the ability to say, hey man, I've gone, some of the best things of best days of my life have been with my dad at Spurs games. When he took me to the Hemisphere Arena to go watch the Lakers play the Spurs, or when he took me to go see, when I took my dad to go to the 2007 finals or whatever the case would be. You can't quantify that. And hopefully with my kids and my grandkids, I'll be able to take them to Spurs games in the future. You can't quantify that.
Yeah.
F them potholes. Potholes are going to exist forever, man.
It's going to be 2050 and you're still going to have freaking potholes in the city, dude.
Yeah, go get a better job. Come on.
They're going to have a robot do that now, They're going to have like a robot doing that job, filling potholes, going around the city, One of those driverless cars that goes and just drops the asphalt and just stomps on it and takes off.
Sam Salinas says, can we give some love to UTSA women's soccer?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I had that on the docket. Yeah, I already have the
AAC tournament and subsequently won the AC chip. The ladies are going dancing now. So very nice. Well, we'll follow this along the way. We had somebody earlier.
I was going to show the video real quick. This is the ladies.
Springs into the box on her left. Shot! She finds the net! UTSA headed to the NCAA tournament. They are the American champions. A thriller in overtime.
So good on them. Congratulations to the ladies. on winning the 2025 American Conference Championship.
I'll make a point of researching when the next matches are, and all that happening. Very nice. We had somebody earlier who was complaining about us casually talking about the Texans, how we didn't give them a lot of pub or love for last night's victory against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm sorry, man, but there's nothing more boring in the NFL than watching the Texans game. Even when the
That was a
Texans
good
go,
game last night. That
even
was a
when the
good one.
Texans are 11-6 or 10-7 or whatever the case may be, guess what? Them some boring ass team. I'll give this to the Cowboys, Joe. Even when they suck, they're entertaining. They lose in an entertaining fashion. They win in an entertaining fashion. Watching a Texans game, I would rather watch paint dry than watch a Texans game.
Oh my, no, bro.
I tried for when I was a free agent, and I was like, do I want to cheer for the Saints or the Texans? I tried watching a season or two of the Texans back in the. Who was their coach back in the day? He used to be with the Patriots.
Oh.
He had no balls. God, I can't remember his name. It was so bad. It was like the Will Fuller days when he was a wide receiver. But come on, man, there was no CJ Stroud. I'm not going to get excited about a Davis Mills led team.
Look at Sam Salinas. Mike just admitted he's low key a Cowboys fan. You said they were more entertaining.
That is the lamest of lame Cowboy takes of all time. Like you just sound.
Why you
stupid
get
when
so
saying
mad,
that.
dude? Every time we say low key, Mike's a Cowboy fan. No, I'm not. I hate the Cowboys, this and that. But I'm gonna watch him every Sunday. Bro, just go get you a jersey or a shirt already, man.
That is stupid, dude. That is stupid.
You wouldn't even wear the jersey that Chica gave you to see if it fit your dad. I bet you she got mad at you in the store, Mike.
She did. She goes, it's just a shirt.
Put the damn shirt on.
No, I remember Chica's friend was like, "Are you going to cheer for the Rockets now?" Because I mean, it is a Texas team. I'm like,
Hell
you don't
no.
you don't understand crap about crap.
You're bad enough. You have to be a freaking Astros fan.
I'm looking at. Everyone say Romeo Crennel is the coach I was talking about. It's not. I'm looking at the coaches of history for the. It was Bill O'Brien.
Yeah.
Bill O'Brien was the one who had no balls, dude. I'll never forget watching the Texans take on the Chiefs when Patrick Mahomes was at his full powers. No, it wasn't Chiefs. It was against Brady and the Patriots. Is what it was. Brady, you know, the greatest quarterback of all time, right?
I think I know which one you're talking about too.
The Texans were actually beating them,
Oh,
and they had a fourth and half a yard to win the game. Just cross the line, victory formation the rest of the way.
yeah.
Punted the ball, even though the ball's at midfield.
You moron.
They punted the ball, and Brady came back because he had a minute 55 to go to win the game. And I was like, if you're playing the Patriots, who were like the Super Bowl champions, and Brady was like a multi MVP, and you have Brady on a bad game where you're chasing him down and actually sacking the dude, and you've dominated the game, and all you need
They were victory
half yard.
formation away, dude.
is a half yard. Is a half yard. And you'd been running through that defensive line all day long. You needed half a yard. And Bill O'Brien was like, I'm going to trust the defense.
You know what that gets?
You moron! You moron!
And it was at that point I said, I'll never cheer for the Texans. They suck and they have no balls.
Well, Bill O'Brien's the one that made him a poverty ass franchise because he sold out everybody.
Yeah.
You know, trade them away, trade this away, trade all your good players away. I know what I'm doing. He just drove that franchise into the ground, dude. It was horrible.
Elias is saying, say it. F the Texans.
Yeah, say it, Mike.
It's just boring, man. What about Devin Singletary? Oh, they're gonna have that tight end formerly of the Cowboys. Who's that? Dalton Schultz. Oh, let me get a hard on over that. I'm sorry. No, that the Texans are the most boring team in the entire NFL. They're what the Carolina Panthers were 3 years ago.
Oh my!
But they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Great. What's that saying go? You know, if a tree falls in the forest, no one's around to hear it. Did it make a sound? If the Texans win a game and no one was watching, did it actually happen?
Yeah.
We'll follow more soccer, I guess. UTSA women's, that's good.
They won.
Golf-
So good.
golf clap.
Congratulations.
I gotta go. I'm being reeled in. I gotta get back to work as well. Joe,
Yeah.
have a fantastic day.
We're off tomorrow. Tomorrow's Veterans Day. I'm off tomorrow. I know it's a weird time to be off, but they're giving us off of work. I need some time to recharge. I'm tired. I'm tired, boss. I
You
had
know
a
what?
long week.
How about this, Joe? How about this, Joe? If the Bulls win, if the Bulls beat the Spurs, we'll take the day off. Spurs
Okay.
win. Spurs win. We might have to do something, even if you give me the control, Joe.
Yeah, I'd probably give you control. Because
And by the way, everyone's saying rest in peace to Lenny Wilkins. I didn't realize that Lenny
Oh
Wilkins
yeah, I
passed
forgot
away.
to give him a shout out. I had that on the docket too. Yeah, Lenny Wilkins passed away, and so did the former NFL commissioner. He passed away yesterday as well.
Who's that?
Let me go ahead and pull it up here. I had him and Lenny on the docket here, and we'll give him some love. Paul Tagliabue.
Paul Tagliabue died. Wow.
He died yesterday as well. So shout out to them, man. We'll show him on screen real quick before we go ahead and bring the show to a close, just out of respect. So rip to him, and also Lenny, man. Lenny passed away too. There he is.
You know what,
Lenny
Joe?
Wilkins.
Let me do the show tomorrow, Joe, and I'll ask someone to be on with me. So if one of the
Yeah.
listeners, if Sean Quintero wants to be on the show, he helps sponsors the show.
Yeah.
Invite is out there. Just give me the control. I'd like to be with somebody, Joe.
Yeah.
But
that's
you
fine.
can enjoy your Veterans Day. Everyone have a fantastic day. Don't forget, happy hour starts at 3:00 over at PF Chang's La Cantera. You can go there for lunch. They open the doors at 11, so they're already open. Very, very nice. Go Spurs go tonight, taking on the Bulls. I'm going to predict, my prediction for the game is De'Aaron Fox is going to go off tonight because he's being guarded by Trey Jones. And Trey Jones defensively is a revolving door.
DAA Ron.
Mhm. Very nice. Everyone have a fantastic day. We will be back tomorrow. Go Spurs, go.
Yep. We'll see you all. Later's. Peace.